everybody, welcome to or back to my channel, My Kind of Stuff, and today we are playing Love is in the TBR for the month of January. All right, it is a new year, a fresh month. It is time for a reset. That being said, I have updated quite a few of the prompts on my TBR game. The game is going to play the same way as it did last year. I just changed out some of the prompts to fit my goals for the year and to fit my physical owned TBR better because some of the prompts just didn't work for what I have left to read. So I'm really excited. I hope we get some of the new prompts. And yeah, if this is your first time watching my TBR game, I will make sure I link the playlist down below of prior months if you want to go back and watch. But essentially, the way the game works is I roll the dice, I move that number of spaces, and I get a prompt based on the space we land on. There are X prompts, O prompts, heart prompts, and there are also 2 Kiss of Death spaces on the board. If I land on a Kiss of Death space, I have to spin a spinner wheel of all of the series I'm in the middle of, and whatever the wheel picks, that's the series we need to continue. If the heart prompts are a little harder, the X prompts are super easy, the O prompts are somewhere in the middle, so that's kind of the way it is set up. And that being said, let's get right into our first roll. All right, roll 1. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. An O prompt. A book by a female author. Okay, that one's pretty easy. All right, our first roll was a 5, which gave us an O prompt, and that prompt is a female author. So for this, I am going to be putting on The Ancestor by Danielle Trussoni. I know absolutely nothing about this other than it's set in a snowy setting and there's some sort of like heiress, kind of like a soul heir to something. I don't know. But it is on my list of 101 horror books to read before you're murdered. And I really want to check it out. So, yeah, really excited to get into this one. All right, let's go see what our next roll will bring. Roll 2. 2. We're just eking past that Kiss of Death. An X prompt. A book box book. All right, that's doable too. All right, our next roll was a 2, which gave us an X prompt, and the prompt is a book box book. For this, I ended up grabbing The Taxidermist Lover by Holly Hall. I have such a hard time saying that. Holly Hall. I keep trying to combine it and say like Polly. I don't know. Whatever. I know absolutely nothing about this one either, except that someone is in love with the taxidermist. And I don't think so much taxidermist, but maybe they're animals they stuff. I don't know. Sounded really weird. This is my copy from Twisted Retreat, so it's super pretty. It's got this gorgeous foiled cover as well. And yeah, this sounds super weird, and I can't wait to read it. All right, let's go get into roll 3. Roll 3. Oh no, a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We landed on a Kiss of Death, so we have to spin our spinner wheel of all of the series I am currently in and continue whichever series it picks for me. But we also have to move all the way back to the beginning. Ooh, boy, we are starting off strong here. Roll 3 gave us a 4, which landed us on a Kiss of Death space. So that means I have to move all the way back to the beginning of the board and also spin a spinner wheel of all of my active series to figure out what it's going to pick for us. So, yeah, let's spin the spinner wheel and see what we get. Ooh, All right, I like this one. We got the Twisted Cross Ranch series, which is by Kay Lorraine and Meg Ann. This was actually on my quick wins for the year as far as completing my series go, because this is book 3 of a trilogy. It is called Deadly Debt, and this is spicy mafia cowboys. Like, how weird, but also unique. And I just love their accents. The audiobooks for these are fantastic. If you've listened to the Mate Games series, it's all the same voice actors from there. It is Why Choose. And I love my cowboys so much. And I'm really excited to finish out this series. That being said, let's hop into roll 4. So roll 4, a 2, 1, 2. Another O prompt, a 25 and 2025 pick. Oh, there's a lot coming out in January that I'm excited for, so this is a good one. All right, for roll 4, we got an O prompt. We rolled a 2, and the prompt is a 25 in 2025 pick. So this is my list of 25 in 2025, which I made a bunch of new releases. And for this one, I am going to be putting on Phantom by H.D. Carlton. This one comes out January 14th, I believe. And it is a mafia romance set back in, I want to say, the 40s or something like that. Like, it's old-timey. This is also, I think, going to be traditionally published, so I'm not expecting it to be quite as dark as her other books. But either way, I love her writing. I think it's so beautiful, and I can't wait to get into this one when it comes out. All right, let's hop into roll 5. Roll 5. A 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We keep just sliding by that first one. Another X. An author backlist. So I have a list of a couple authors that I want to read more from their backlist. So this is gonna work out good. All right, for roll 5, we rolled a 5, and that landed us on an X prompt. And this prompt is an author backlist. So the way this prompt works is I had 3 authors that I wanted to focus on in the new year and try to read some more off of their backlist. Those authors were Riley Sager, Tessa Bailey, and Darcy Coates. Which conveniently this month for the Love and Horror Book Club, we are reading Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates, which I have not read yet. I did not read the synopsis for this because I don't want to be spoiled at all. I just want to hop right in. I've enjoyed every single Darcy Coates book I've read. Some of them have been all-time favorites, so I'm really excited to get to this one. Conveniently, it works perfectly for this prompt, and it's our book club pick. So if you want to join us the second to last Sunday of the month, we do reading sprints where we start reading the book, and then the last Sunday of the month is our live show discussing it. I will make sure I link our Discord down below if you want to join. This is hosted by myself and Jenny from over at the Haphazard Book Nook, so I'll make sure I link her channel below as well. We would absolutely love to have you join us. And that being said, let's get into roll 6. Roll 6. A 4. What? No way. All right, well, we're going to be continuing a lot of series this month, I guess. And back to the beginning we go. I'm starting to think we're never going to beat this game. So for roll 6, we rolled a 4, and that landed us right back on that same kiss of death space. So back to the beginning of the board we go, and let's spin our spinner wheel to see what series we'll be continuing. Oh, okay. All right. Another backlist book. or an author that I wanted to read from the backlist of, and that is Hot and Hammered series. I am on book 2, which is Love Her or Lose Her by Tessa Bailey. I didn't love book 1, but I'm excited to continue and still try them. These are like rom-com meets HGTV home show. And I've read other books that have this same like kind of idea behind it and absolutely loved them. So I'm hoping that one of the books in this series at least hits for me. There's only 3, so this is book 2. Um, yeah, a good pick. And let's get into roll 7. Roll 7. 2. 1, 2. Try a new author. Well, that's a fun one. I like that prompt. There's a few new authors I want to try, so this works well. All right, for roll 7, we rolled a 2, and that gave us an O prompt, and the prompt is try a new author, which I really like this prompt. This is one of my new ones as well, and yeah, I think it's fun because I find myself a lot of times reading the same authors, like trying to get through backlists or continue series. So giving myself a reason to pick up a new author is always good. And for this prompt, I will be reading The Grip of It by Jack Jemick. I don't know anything about this one either. That seems to be a trend. But this is also on the list of 101 horror books to read before you're murdered. So I wanted to get to it anyway. And this is a good excuse to do it. Roll 8. A 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And oh, a special edition. Okay, that's doable. I have a lot of these that I need to get to. All right, roll 9. We rolled a 6. It landed me on an O prompt, and the prompt is a special edition. So for this, I'm going with another Twisted Retreat book that, again, that is one of my priorities this year, is to read that backlist of books that I have. And we will be reading Neverest by T.L. Bodine. I don't absolutely love this dust jacket, but the edges are kind of cool. It's got this little like mountain hiker on the side, but it is truly spectacular on the outside. Like, how beautiful is this? It is stunning. And also the end papers. Are you kidding? So I am really, really excited to read this one. I've been wanting to for a long time. I've been putting it off. I don't know why. This is also on my horror bingo challenge. So reading this is going to check off a lot of boxes for me. All right, let's get into roll 9. 9. A 4. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4. We finally made it past that kiss of death. An O prompt. A horror bingo book. Ooh, there's a lot of these that I want to get to, so that works out well. All right, so for roll 9, we got a 4. We've finally made it past our kiss of death space, which feels really great. And this gave us yet another O prompt, and the prompt is a horror bingo book. So this is a book that is on my horror bingo challenge list. And for this, I am going to pick Moon of the Crusted Snow. I literally know absolutely nothing about this book, but the cover is beautiful. It is set in winter, which makes it perfect for January, and I'm really excited to check it out. All right, let's get into our 10th roll. Roll 10. And at least now we're finally past those kiss of death. So, oh, perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are off the board. All right, roll 10 was a 4, and that got us off the board. So we have officially finished our TBR game. But of course, in true me fashion, that is not all of the books I will be reading this month. So let's talk about the rest of them. First off, I have one arc that I do need to read this month, and that is Hot Singles in Your Area. This book comes out on February 4th. I have this arc through NetGalley. It is a horror, and I really know nothing about this one either, but I do need to get to it, and I'm excited to try it. I am also still working on my next TBR takedown video, so I have a couple more books I need to read still for that. The first one being The Prophets by Robert Jones Jr. This one has been sitting on my shelf for so long. It's a book of the month book. And this one is like a forbidden union between two young men on a plantation in the deep south. So I think this one might be a really heavy hitting read, but it's definitely one I've had for a long time now, and I just keep putting off. It was one of the first book of the month books I ever got, and I've just never gotten around to reading it. So I'm glad that, TBR Takedown is forcing me to dive in. Another one that I need to read for that challenge is On a Clear Day. You Can See Block Island by Gage Greenwood. This is a group of children that they're all suffering from different things, from trauma from their childhood. They go back to Block Island and have to face all of these monsters. And I think these are actually monsters in here and not just in their mind. But I could be wrong. Either way, I am excited to find out. And this edition from Twisted Retreat is absolutely gorgeous. Look at how creepy this little guy is on the side. And he's also on the hardcover as well. And then there's a map for the end pages. It's just a really cool edition, and the story sounds really neat, so I'm excited to jump in. And the last book for TBR Takedown that I need to get to in the month of January is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, which is book 4 in the series. I've been doing a reread. So pretty much every month I've been reading one of the books, and this is where we're at next. So yeah, I've just really been enjoying being back in this world. I haven't read these books since I was a kid, and I forgot how great they are. Like, they've all been 5 stars for me so far upon reread, so I can't wait to get into the next one. Now, I have 3 other books that I would like to get to. The first one being Stolen Tongues by Felix Blackwood. Jenny from the Haphazard Book Nook recently read this and said she was super creeped out by it, so I'm excited to look into it. And it's set again in winter. I've been trying to get all of my wintry, snowy, cold kind of horror that I didn't get to in December read in January. In December, I tried to do the more holiday thematic ones, and now I'm trying to get to the more just winter ones. So really excited to check this out. And that being said, another book that I am reading, which is a friend recommendation from Jenny again, is The Terror by Dan Simon. She recently read this for her horror bingo challenge and absolutely loved it. She's obsessed. And I obviously don't want to miss out, so I need to read it now too. And the last book that I want to try to get to this month is The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. I've never read from this author before, but basically we follow We follow a woman who is kind of estranged from her father, but she goes to Alaska to try to rekindle a connection with him, have him be back in her life, and she ends up falling in love with one of his employees who I believe drives the plane for him. So I'm really excited to get into this. This is the first in a 4-book series, I think it is. So hopefully I love it and I want to continue the series. And then, of course, there are 2 more new releases that I would like to try to get to in the month of January. The first one being Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. Everyone knows this is coming out on January 21st. It is the 3rd book in the Fourth Wing series, and I just can't wait to continue. Didn't absolutely love book 2, but it was still fun. Book 1, I'm still obsessed with. And Darna is the cutest little baby dragon ever. I love her so much. She was a teenager in book 2, and I'm just excited to see what kind of shenanigans she gets up to in book 3. I swear I love the dragons in these books more than the people, but like Xaden is daddy, right? Like we love a shadow daddy. So I'm super excited to read this one. And the last one I want to talk about, which actually released in December of 2024, but it came out on December 31st, so I'm including it in my January new releases, and that is Dating and Dragons by Christy Boyce. I read Dungeons and Drama a few months ago and was absolutely obsessed, so I can't wait to continue the series and see what else these kids get up to. All right. Those are all the books that I plan on reading in the month of January. It seems like kind of a lot. This TBR game really kicked my butt this month with giving us 9 books, but that's okay. At least I was able to include some books I was planning on reading anyway. We got some new releases on there. We've got some backlist authors on there. We've got Twisted Retreat books on there. We're really making progress towards our goals for the month of January, and really that's what's important. Making progress. So, let me know down in the comments below what you are looking forward to reading most in the month of January. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and make sure you guys have your notifications turned on so you don't miss any upcoming content. Give this video a thumbs up on your way out, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!